Vaheguru, 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 Vaheguru.
So the 5 meanings of the word Khalsa. There is a video on YouTube already about this. So if you say you didn't get this and you're like, oh, I'm not sure about that, we've already put it up. What is a Khalsa? But I included it in this. Actually, when I wrote the Waheguru course, when I got to this part and I put these 5 down, then I decided, oh, this will make a good video. So we made a separate video. But this was part of the Waheguru course. So these are the 5. The pure, the Guru's direct followers. Okay, those people that follow only Guru. And I'm going to go through each one of these. The saintly soldier ideal for humanity. Okay. And then the God's own form on earth. Yeah. So it's Guru. Guru is God's form on earth. So it's Guru. And then finally, the group of people that are going to lead the Khalsa, lead the world through to Satyug, the age of enlightenment. So I'll go through each one quickly. The pure. Now this word Khalis actually means pure. It comes up in Bani in this way. Kabir ji says this. Okay. Kaho Kabir janpe Khalse prem pagat jeh jani. Those people are Khalse who know prem pagdi. So when I say pure, I mean pure as in spiritually pure. Yeah? And not just like, oh, a pure breed or something or whatever, but spiritually pure and through love. Okay? So you can say pure or you can say pure love. The Khalsa lives in pure love. The Khalsa lives in pure light. Okay? Spiritual. And basically, this is what it means. It becomes all about love. Prem Pagat. So the Khalsa is the people in love with Waheguru. Yeah? So in the same way, Prem Kiyo, then he Prabh Payo. So they get that enlightenment, yeah, by going through love. And Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj, now, sorry, for some reason, the last line is at the top. So we're going to start from the second line, the bottom, and then go up to the top. But this is a line from Guru Gobind Singh Ji's Bani, I think it's 33, when they talk about the Khalsa. Okay? And they say this, Jagat Jot Japanis Basir, Ek Binaman Nek Na Ane. The Khalsa meditates upon that Jagat Jot and rejects everything but Waheguru from their mind. Okay? And then, Puran Prem Prati Sajay, Brata Gaur Madi, Matapul Na Mane. So in Puran Prem and Pratit, faith, pure love and faith is what they are sajay. They are adorned with this, yeah? But Brat Gaur Madi Matapul Na Mane. So Brat is like this fasting, yeah? And then Madi is that these crematoriums and stuff, yeah? So without even for a mistake, not even in mistake do they accept these things. Like by mistake, I must take to us a gravestone. I was like, oh no, I shouldn't have. No, yeah. It's like it's outside our mind. And then again, Tirth Daan Deya Tab Samjam Ek Bina Nah Ek Pachane. Doesn't look accept anything but Waheguru. When we do anything, like if we give in compassion, we're not giving it out of our own hankar. It's just purely out of the one. And then finally, Manda says, Puran jo jagah kat mein tab khalis ta hai na khalis jane. Such a person who's got Puran jot in their heart, the full complete light is shining in their heart, the love, the enlightenment of that jot, yeah? Then jagah kat mein, kat is inside their heart. In their heart is that pure light shining, and then Mara says, this person, tab khalis, then that person is a Khalsa. Yeah? So the Khalsa is meant to be enlightened. The Khalsa is meant to live in love. The Khalsa's first aim is to spiritually walk that path of enlightenment. So that's why Amrit is like the introductory step into this path. It doesn't stop at Amrit. Yeah? Amrit is just the sort of like the, okay, I'm on this path now, right? And then you just follow it. So many people now made Amrit into some kind of like a long-term aim. But it can't be a long-term aim because following that, there's plenty more to do. Every Khalsa is now like a Khalsa in training. If you become Amritari, you're a Khalsa in training. You're not a Khalsa yet. You're a Khalsa in training to become enlightened, okay? Through love. Now the Khalsa is a Guru's direct follower, yeah? Now imagine like you could have loads of kings in the world. The Khalsa says, no other king but the one. Shiranveer Singh, who's joined us as well, he had a little idea. He said, look, imagine a company Of course, all of you guys in the city, this works out great for you, yeah? Imagine you've got a big company, it's a huge corporation, and it's got loads of divisions and sections, and each one's got a boss, right? Agreed? But now, the one at the top, the person who's... Now the problem is that many people in the divisions started to behave like they were the boss. They were the ultimate boss, the owner of the company. They didn't tell their minions anything, but they were the one. And because on a day-to-day basis, everything you hear comes from that person, you start believing that is the one. Right? But then the person at the top says, well, everybody's forgotten about me. So then he creates a new person, puts a new person in, and this person works directly for the one. And then that person goes out and hires people, and makes them aware that we all work for the one. Yeah. So the Khalsa works for Guru, and is the Guru's direct employee. Yeah, works purely for Guru, and in this and follows only Guru. Doesn't follow what else is going on in the world, what other people are doing, but just Guru. That's it. And this is actual meaning of that word, Khalas. The word Khalas also used to mean the land owned by the emperor directly. So that the queen has an estate, the queen's own estate, and then there's other land that we own, like freehold. What the queen owns or the king owns, right? That's the Khalsa. That's the meaning of that word. So the king's own. There's even regiments in the armies of king's own, you know. So the Lardli Fauj of the Guru, the favorite army. That's what Lardli Fauj means, yeah. And the main thing here is to lose the ego. Other people follow their own ways, but the Khalsa only follows the Guru's way. By the ultimate test, yeah. Now, in this way, it becomes a kind of like a, what you might say, the special forces, you know. Like, let's say there was like a special forces that reported directly to the king only. You know, in the old days, the king would have his own bodyguard, and there were other generals in charge that had their armies. So the king's own bodyguard only reports to the king, no one else. They're loyal to the king, like Hitler had the SS, and they report only to him. Okay, so Guru Gobind Singh Ji has the Khalsa, they only report to him, no one else. Yeah? And now the Khalsa, what's his mission? As Guru's own follower, his own private sort of bodyguard army, the Khalsa's mission is to protect Sikhi. So the Sikhi is like a big, nice, big, lovely garden. It's got roses, it's got lotus flowers, loads of different things you can go and look inside, different rags, different nad, different ras. Yeah? All these Guru's teachings, it's great, it's Jagat Guru. It's enlightenment for the whole world. But around that garden, you have to plant a thorny bush. Yeah? And that thorny bush will keep out anybody that wants to come and destroy the garden. Yeah? Wild animals, etc. And the Khalsa is that thorny bush on the outside of this beautiful garden. It just protects Sikhi. It doesn't mean everybody has to become part of the Khalsa. Do you see what I'm trying to say? The Khalsa is like that special bodyguard. Khalsa mera roop hai, khas. Like a special body. Lardli Fauj. What their job, other people don't have to do their job. Their job is to protect Sikhi. Their job is to defend it and keep it as it is. Yeah, keep it as it is and defend it. But the people can enjoy Sikhi. Anybody can enjoy Sikhi. The Khalsa are there to protect it. And then live and die by Guru's words. Guru's bachans, yeah? That's all that matters for the Khalsa. And Maharaj says, Raj na chaun, Mukt na chaun, Man Preet Charan Kamlari. The Khalsa does not seek Raj. It's going to get it anyway. There's a Khalsa that doesn't even seek Mukti, because it's going to get that anyway. All the Khalsa wants is to love Guru's feet. Yeah? The Khalsa loves the Guru's feet, that's it. Man Preet Charan Kamlari. Okay. And this is what the Bani says. Guru Gobind Singh talks about the Khalsa in this way. Maharaj says, Ho Khalse ka, Khalse ke, Khalso mero. I am of the Khalsa. Khalsa is mine. Ot pot sagar bundero. Like, you know, like the drops in the sea, in the sagar and the bundero. And just like the you have a tower made of sand, but what's it made up of? Grains of sand. So he says, I'm made of the Khalsa. Maharaj is not saying I am, like, he's saying he's the ocean and the Khalsa is the drops. Yeah? He says, I'm a mountain of sand, but the Khalsa is that sand. I'm made up of the Khalsa. Okay? Khalsa mero Satgur pura, Khalsa mera sajan sura. Khalsa is my perfect Guru. The Khalsa is my friend and my hero. Okay? These are the praises. This is Khalsa Mehma from Sarab Logranth. This is the Bani, it's called Khalsa Mehma. Praises of the Khalsa. And then Maharaj said, Khalsa mero kare nibaha. Khalsa mero deh ar saha. Khalsa is my source of strength. Maharaj says, Khalsa is my body and my breath. Saha. Dehi means body. So Maharaj is very clear saying, Khalsa is me, I am the Khalsa. Yeah? This is a Bani that you might not have heard. The same Bani we read about Khalsa me rupe Khas, that comes from Khalsa Mehma as well. But sometimes we don't read the whole thing. We read that 1-2 lines. We don't know what else was said by Maharaj. Okay? Now, the saintly warrior. This bit comes back to the old thing that's been going on since the beginning of time. And since the beginning of time, there's been this battle. Good against evil. Yeah? Dharam versus adharam. Righteousness versus injustice. And, what Maharaj has come to destroy. And Dharam Yudh is that battle for righteousness and justice across the world. And this is exactly what the Khalsa is now taking part in. The Khalsa is committed to now fighting the same battle since the beginning of time that's been going on. Okay? The idea is all evil needs to prosper. It's like good people do nothing. So the Khalsa now says, well, we're those people that we do something. Everybody's looking for that. Somebody should do something. Khalsa like, okay, we are that somebody now. We're going to do something. Okay? And basically, like where you got the UN, right? The UN is toothless, isn't it? Hasn't got its own army. When the UN wants to do something, the UN has to request troops from different governments. Have you noticed that? And they put on their blue helmets and they become part of the UN army. So the Khalsa says, oh, forget that. We are the UN and we are the UN army. The Khalsa comes with its own army. Okay? Is there to fight. So, basically, the good side needs an army prepared to fight to death. The Khalsa is that army. So again, it's like that thorny bush. But here, it's not just protecting Sikhi, it's just doing justice. That's his focus, it's justice across the world. Alright? And this is the Bani, look. You might think, well, this is from the, you might see in Bani quite a lot, it's in the Slok Damalida as well. Yeah? Hum Akali Sabke Wali, Hamara Panth Ne Aa Raha Hai. We are the Akalis. This is now the Kalis, the Nihangs, they talk about it. Hum Akali Sabke Wali. We belong to everybody. We're not of one side. Hamra Panth Ne Aa Raha Hai. Our way, Panth means path. Hamra Panth Ne Aa Raha Hai. Our way is different, is unique. Why is that? Deen Mazhab ka Jujjo Kina Khanda Phade Dutara Hai. That the Khalsa carries this Deen Mazhab, it fights in the war of righteousness with a Khanda. The Dutara Khanda means double-edged sword. So the Khalsa would sing these things, and the Nihang Singh would sing this every time they the star. So they remind themselves, what's their mission? Yeah. And it's that saintly warrior thing. It's not just a warrior, it's a saintly warrior. Yeah, Sant Sipahi, the ideal human being. This is what the world has always needed from the very beginning. It's like the Millennium Man concept. From the very beginning, people needed somebody who was going to do good and be spiritual as well, and then do what was needed to be done. And that is the Khalsa. Okay? The Maharaj says, look, Guru Gobind Singh is saying very clearly, this is their words, Guru Gobind Singh Maharaj's own words in Pachitta Natak. They're saying, Hum eka jagatmo aaye taram het Gurudev pathai. I came onto this world for Dharam. Maharaj says, why Guru sent me? To set up Dharam. Then they said, this bit here, wherever you are, spread Dharam, that's a quote. It's a quote, Guru Gobind Singh is quoting God now. They're saying, God said these words to me, Jahan tahan tum taram bitharo, dos dokin pakar pacharo. Wherever you are, spread righteousness, grab the evildoers and uproot them and destroy them. It's not some kind of soft, just wherever you are, be nice to people kind of thing, yeah? This is like, go where you are, set up righteousness. If you see people trying to stop you, people that are doing evil, then uproot them. Fight them and kill them. Okay? And make sure there's justice everywhere. And then look, Guru Gobind Singh says in their Bani, right? Tan jiyo tehko jag mein. Maharaj says, blessed are those people in this world. Tan jiyo tehko jag mein. Chit mein mukte har, chit mein jud bichare. On their mukh, they're saying Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Hari, Har, Har. But in their mind, Jud, they're thinking about battle. Yeah? So the righteous battle is their foremost. Khalsa soi nit kare jang. The Khalsa is looking to do this daily battle. And that's what we said when it comes there. Khalsa soi chare tarang. Khalsa becomes a crusader. Khalsa soi nit kare nit jang. Fights a battle every day, internal and external, yeah? Got Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Ahankar sitting inside us. We've got dush dokin all around us. The Khalsa's job is that. Look, Khalsa soi shastar ko tare. The Khalsa is that person that picks up weapons. You can't be a soldier for God and you've got no weapons. The Khalsa likes weapons. Has to be part of the Khalsa way. And Khalsa soi dusht ko mare. To destroy the people who, are unjust. Those kind of leaders at the world that are causing so much pain and injustice, destroys them. Khalsa akal purak ki fauj. Pargatyo Khalsa paramatam ki mauj. Mauj, you know what mauj means, yeah? Khushi which. So God's khushi was to make the Khalsa. God said, now that will be cool. And in a way we're talking about now, you'll be like, yo, that will be cool to make a group of people that were prepared to fight for righteousness and die to it. And have no kind of distinction about caste, colour, creed. It would be a cool thing, right? And it is. The Khalsa was made by Waheguru to be like their Mauj. Let's make something no one's seen before. The Khalsa. Okay? And this is God's own army. So it works for God directly, you see. It's like it works for Guru directly, works for God directly. And then the next bit, which is the Khalsa, Guru's form. Some of this stuff I'm going to say now is going to come as a bit of a surprise to you. Because I'm going to be kind of quoting stuff you've already heard before, but it's not quite the same. And because these are the old Rehatname. And what's happened is over the years, people said, oh, these Punjabis, they could never remember this one, it's too hard. Let's simplify it and put it into simple Punjabi. Yeah. So there's stuff that you've heard that sounds like this, but it's not. It's different. Yeah. And the meaning is a bit different as well. The first one, Bhai Prahlad Singh Rehatnama. Yeah. Sikh of Guru Gobind Singh Ji's time. He says this: Guru Khalsa mani hai Pargat Guru ki dehe. That sound familiar? But slightly different. Jo Sikh mirboch hai khoj inay mele. So if accept the Guru Khalsa as a physical body of the Guru. And if a Sikh wants to meet the Guru, look in the Khalsa. You see what I'm trying to say? People paraphrased it and made it simpler. But then they changed the meaning as well. They were like, oh look, Guru Granth Sahib Ji. But it's Guru Khalsa Mani. Accept the Khalsa as your Guru. It's a physical body of the Guru. Yeah? And if a Sikh wants to meet the Guru, then search in the Khalsa. Then look. Akal Purak ki Murat ehe Pargatyo Khalsa dehe Pargatyo Aap Khalsa dehe. The Khalsa has been formed. It's the visible form of Akal Purak. Akal Purak ki Murat. You know Akal Murat? Akalis are Akal Murat. To get the Khalsa is God's form. Yeah? And it's saying then, just in case somebody goes, I don't know about this Guru Gobind Singh Ji. I don't know if the Khalsa is God's own form. Yeah? Pargatyo aap, he himself made Waheguru. Pargatyo aap, aap hi Rab ne banaya Khalsa. Because Akal, it says, Agya pe Akal ki tabe chalayo panth. The Khalsa was formed by Waheguru's hukam. But then look at the next bit. Maharaj says, in case you doubt me, O Gur Sikha, if later on you think, Maharaj, but Guru Granth Sahib Ji is your form, I can't accept the Khalsa. Maharaj says, ek minute, ye yaad rakh li, mam ranchak mithya nahi paki, Gur Nanak Gur Angad Sakhi. I don't speak one little bit of falsehood. Ranchak is like a little, dust. Mithya is falsehood. He goes, I don't even speak one little grain of falsehood. Who is my witness? Gur Nanak Gur Angad Sakhi. Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj is there right then with them. Guru Angad Dev Ji Maharaj is there right with them. They say, I'm not lying to you. The Khalsa was made by God. It is God's form on the earth. The Khalsa now rules from where? Where's the Khalsa rule from? Where's our throne? Akal Takht. Akal Takht. The throne of a Waheguru is the Khalsa's throne. We run that. Yeah? Akal Takht, Akal Pur ki Fauj. So it is God's form. Bhai Prahlad Singh Nama. Maharaj says, look, Bhai Prahlad Singh is saying, look, Akal Pur ke bachan seo pargat chalai panth. Very similar to Hukam, na? So, yeah? So you see these words are a bit harder for Sikhs to remember, so they made this other bit that we use now, what we just read now. And then it says, Sab Sikhan ko bachan hai Guru Manyo Granth. Bachan meant Hukam, order. Same meaning. So when we say like the current thing we're reading now, the first two dohire, yeah, after the Ardas, when we say ki, what was the first one? Agya pe akal ki tabe chalayo pant. It's paraphrasing by Prahlad Singh. Gyani Gyan Singh wrote that one, and Gyani Gyan Singh wrote the next one as well. Again, he paraphrased, but he changed the meaning slightly as well. Okay, why was that? At that time in Harmandir Sahib, Sikhs were bowing down to idols. The Masands had installed idols inside Harmandir Sahib. Yeah, so he wanted to bring Sikhs back to Guru Granth Sahib Ji, bring them back to Bani. So he made these two things, but he was paraphrasing by Prahlad Singh. The same concept here, okay? But look, by Nandlal Ji's Rahatnama, when you say why is the Khalsa Guru's form, why is the Khalsa God's form? We talked about this a couple of times now. Guru Sahib has said, when we talked about Guru Granth Sahib, you said, Guru Sahib was asked by Nandlal Ji, what are you? What are you? What are your forms? You know? Might you want to ask, some of the Sikhs might be thinking this themselves, we're thinking, if I could ask Guru Sahib, what are you? But this conversation is recorded for us. And Mara says, listen very carefully, Nandlal. I'm going to tell you my forms. I got 3 forms. Very important information, yeah? 3 forms. They say this: Sargun, Nirgun, and Gur Shabad. And when they describe it, they say my Sargun form is the Gur Sikh. Now let's say we start with Nirgun. Nirgun form, they say, is the light of God. They say not just the light of God, they say the light inside every single person. So what is that light inside every single person? Sab mein hai jyot, jyot hai soe. Waheguru. They're saying, look, my Nirgun form is God. Okay? Nirgun means without any, you can't touch it. Koi gun nahi hai, it's not physical, it's not long, it's not short, it's got no physical thing, attributes. So it's Nirankar. So Nirangur is Nirankar. So Nirankar Roop is Waheguru. Then Sargun, Akar Roop, with form, is a Sikh. Who is that now? The Khalsa. And the Gur Shabad, the Bani. So if we swap these around a little bit, put Nirgun at the top, then Sargun, then Gur Shabad, what do we start off with? We start off with Gur Shabad, reading Bani, right? We then progress to the Guru Khalsa. Then from there we progress to the becoming one with Waheguru. Straightforward, isn't it? The path is in those threefold form as well. All Bani, yeah? Okay, the fifth one. So we've gone through the pure, we've gone through the Guru's own, we've gone through this saintly soldier ideal, the millennium man concept, the ideal of any human being. It's like God's own wish to create this blessed saintly soldier ideal, bring it to reality. And finally, we talked about just now, God's Guru's own form, the Guru Khalsa. But then the Khalsa is now destined to rule the world. Okay, this is the bachan of Guru Gobind Singh Ji. Now look, these are our nare. You know what nare are, yeah? Nare are what we shout out, our slogans, you might say. Khalistan Zindabad is not a Sikh nara, traditional Sikh nara. Yeah? Probably only since about the 70s you've heard that. Okay? So we've got a 300-year-old, 500-year-old history before that. And these are the nare that we would shout. Deg, Teg, Fateh. Deg is food. We all know that, right? Bashad is Deg. Deg is food. That means physical needs. The Maslow hierarchy is being talked about here. Food, survival. Then the second thing is Teg. Teg means protection, freedom. Yeah? Teg means Teg Bahadur, as in Kirpan. For us, the Kirpan is for doing Kirpa. So, Deg, Teg, Fateh. Victory to everybody in the world having food, basic needs, and having basic freedoms. This is the Khalsa's own hukum. And this is not just Deg, Teg, Jag mein dau chale. Comes up Virera Sahib. Yeah? That all over the world, let these two things be everywhere. That's what Deg, Teg, Fateh means. Deg, Teg, Jag mein dau chale. Both of them are all over the world. So we only want this. This is what we want to achieve. Deg and Teg. If everybody's fed, if everybody's safe, Khalsa's happy. We've done our job. Yeah? That's victory for us. We don't expect, and that is actually Waheguru Ji ki Fateh, by the way. Waheguru Ji wants that. That is what they want to achieve in this world, yeah? That's what we are made to do. Then, what will happen? To do this, remember what I said before, Daya and Dharam. The first one is actually Dharam. If we didn't care about the world, we wouldn't do it. So when we have Daya, then you want to give Dharam. So to give Dharam, we're going to have to fight against those people that don't want Dharam. The adharmi people out there. So what's going to have to happen? Panth ki jeet. We'll have to have a fight. against those people that are adharmi. We have to win over them to fulfill our mission. So पंथ की जीत दी लोड़ हैगी है. Yeah? देख देख फतेह लोड़ हैगी है, तो फिर पंथ की जीत दी लोड़ हैगी है. And once we get those two things, if we win over our enemies, we deliver food and justice to everybody, the next thing is, then the people will say to us, Raj karo please. Yeah? Raj karega Khalsa. The depth of what we say, we often, we sort of, what you might say, you sort of just talk over it, or glance over it is a word, something like glide over it. We don't really go into depth of how deep these stuff that we say, these nari. Yeah? And what is that Raj? The Raj is what Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj already said in Bani, and there's a lecture about this on the channel called The Political Teachings of Sikhism. It was at Oxford University. It was the spiritual and the political teachings. It's worth watching those two, hour each. Okay, and it links these two parts together, spiritual and the political. And what basically the Halemi Raj is the main thing. Guru Arjan Dev Ji's Bani says very clearly that we are here to establish a Halemi Raj. Halemi means compassionate kingdom. So we start from there, and the kingdom is based upon compassion. Okay, what we want to deliver to the world is compassion. Guru Arjan Dev Ji said this is the order of Waheguru. Hun hua hukum meherwan, hukum hua meherwan da. The hukum has come of Waheguru. Meherwan Sahib Meherwan has done a hukum. What is that hukum? That there be a Halemi Raj. In that Halemi Raj, Maharaj says, no one is to distress anybody else. Everybody is to live in peace. This is the Khalsa's hukum, to create a world which is like this. No one gets harassed, everybody lives in peace. You know when they say those, have you ever had those guys knock on your door? They like say, what Jehovah's Witnesses, yeah? And they have this book called The Watchtower. Yeah? And then they say, wouldn't it be nice to live in a world like this? Everybody living in happiness and peace. It's a loaded question, because obviously you're going to say, yeah. You're not going to say, nah, it'll be horrible, I hate it. Yeah. So the idea of that is to make you say yes, and then from that it says, well, you can't get there unless you become one of us. Right? So it's going to give you the carrot and then take it away. You start crying. And then they say, right, you've got to become one of us. That's their conversion technique. We actually have this as our mission. Their one is limited to whatever 100 people that can get in, hundreds of thousands of people that can get in. Most of them aren't going to get in by their own mass. However, for us, this is the mission is for everybody. And it's not meant to be something that is in the next world. It's not for the next world. It's for this world. So we have to establish this here on this earth. That's our mission. And when the Khalsa forgets its mission, it forgets that it's here to change the world and cause this, then what's the Khalsa doing? Is it the Khalsa? It's made to do this. And where's our 5-year plan? Where's our 10-year plan? Do we have a 100-year plan even for this? Are we planning to actually make England into this such kind of place? Yeah? I don't see any of our leaders trying to plan to improve Britain for everybody else. We're purely inward focused, aren't we? If at all we are inward focused. We're purely sort of self-focused on our own little agendas, our little gurdwara. There's no national plan. There's no international plan. And Guru Sahib says, look, Dilli takht pe baithegi aap Guru ki fauj. The Guru's fauj, the Guru's army, will sit on the Dilli takht, will rule India. So the first step has to be for us to take over India. That's the first step. Go take over the world, got to start with nuclear weapons. Can't be anybody important in this world unless you are nuclear armed. You don't get the seat at the table. Do you understand that? There's no country in this world that gets to say anything of any importance unless they have nuclear weapons. That's the fact. That is real politics, as they call it. Yeah? You do not get to speak unless you are nuclear armed. Look at the UN Security Council. Yeah? Look at the people they listen to. It's all about nuclear weapons. Okay? And Maharaj says, Tabe Khalsa ude astalo diya. Khalsa will win over the east and west. You never say Panth ki jeet. Ude ast. Ude means like, I think east or west, one of the two. And ast means the other one. So the Khalsa will rule over from east to west. Singh might would help me out. Which one's east or west, you know? He doesn't know either. We don't use the word anymore. Ude ast. East to west, the Khalsa will rule. Yeah? This is the Singhs read this every day. Yeah? Tabe Khalsa ude astalo jita. That's where the word Rajgir Khalsa comes from. the same Bani that Raj Kriya Khalsa comes from explains this bit. It says the Khalsa will rule from east to west. So it's a prediction that Guru Sahib has made. Yeah? That this is what will happen. The Khalsa will take over the world from east to west. The Khalsa will rule. And everybody will be living in this peace. Yeah? Deg deg jag mein do chale. So basically the UN doesn't have an army. The Khalsa is spiritual, is disciplined, and is made to rule. It's made to become Sahib. Yeah? So Daya, then Taram, then Himmat, Mukham, फिर Sahib. And when? When is it going to rule until? When is that Raj going to end? Well, it's going to end when Satyug is here. When we say end, that's it. Satyug, everybody's enlightened. Yeah? It's the age of enlightenment. So we're trying to bring about the age of enlightenment. The thing I said earlier about this Jehovah's Witnesses. So one knocked on my door a while back, and she was a Punjabi one as well. So they're trying to, send their own into... And she got very excited when she saw a Sikh guy. She's like, oh, I can have a go now. And she says... she's like, yo, she's like, I was like, I'm not I was really busy that day. I would normally, just for the sake of, I would have called her in, cup of tea, and having her away for a bit. But I thought, yeah, man, I'm really busy. I haven't got time for this. So I said, look, sorry, we're not interested. You can see we're Sikhs, yeah? We're both committed Sikhs. And she said, I'll have a try. She said, are you waiting for Satyug? That's what she said, are you waiting for Satyug? And I was like, no. She's like, well, I've been told, and she's been told, Sikhs are waiting for Satyug. I'm like, no, we're not waiting for Satyug. She goes, what do you mean? You are waiting for Satyug, Sikhs waiting for Satyug. I said, no, we're going to make Satyug. She's like, oh. I was like, yeah, we're here to make Satyug. You guys can live in Kaljug, we're here to make Satyug. So we're here to bring about the age of enlightenment, where everybody knows that life is about Naam, where everybody knows that life is about connection. When people realize what is inside them, Jaga the George Japan is Basar. Yeah? Puran Prem Pratit Sajay. That people understand, not here to spread Sikhi, we're here to spread Naam. Yeah? And Dharam. So the two things go side by side. Morality and spirituality. So you can watch that video, Political Teaching of Sikhism, go into that in more detail. Alright. So here's the question then. How, you kind of got this, yeah? Well, how can the Khalsa be the Guru? You've read the Bani, it talks about this Guru Arjan Dev Ji saying, look, it's about Halimi Raj. Yeah? But also, Guru Gobind Singh Ji is very clear about this. But just a little one about 5. Because people sometimes think, why 5? Bhai Gurdas Ji said this, yeah? He says, Ek Sikh, Dui Sad Sang, Panji Parameshwar. One is a Sikh, 2 is Sad Sangat. 2 Sikhs together, you've got Sad Sangat. And then Panji, Parameshwar, God. Got 5, you got God. So that's the power of 5 Sikhs together. Yeah? Maharaj saying you can create Vaheguru upon this earth. Now, firstly, on a personal level, the Khalsa's main purpose is to live that spiritual way. Yeah? To become, on a personal level, first thing in the morning, a Khalsa wakes up. He's not bothered about Dharam Yud and stuff. Yeah? He's bothered about getting a nickname done so they can have their breakfast. Right? Because before nickname, no breakfast. Yeah? So that's the first hukum. Okay? Maharaj says, don't even eat until you read Japji Sahib and Jawab Sahib. Okay? Then, the root makes us strong. Okay? And the Amrit, the Rehat of Bani, of recreating the Amrit every day, reading those Banis and recreating that spiritual connection to Guru every day, okay, through Bani. Maharaj is saying, do that every day. And there's loads of Hukamnama in Guru Granth Sahib Ji every day. So every day the Sikh is supposed to take Hukamnama and use that guidance from Guru Granth Sahib Ji to guide their life. Yeah? So the Hukamnama is, in the morning you must read your Bani, you must then take a Hukamnama, and then you can have your food. So the Guru's bhajan for the day. Yeah? And so each person on that path of enlightenment, but at a society level, because this is where the Khalsa concept needs to become clear for the people that don't know about this. For you guys, I was thinking, my Guru Sahib said to me, I got to believe in the Khalsa as the Guru's body. But where is that Khalsa now? Who do I believe in now? You see what I mean? So how does it work at a society level? It works like this. There's supposed to be decisions on things that are important. Not at a personal level. No one's supposed to be told at a personal level what they got to do in their day-to-day life. Day-to-day life is very simple. Wake up in the morning, read your part, go to work, come back in the evening, read your Kirtan, Rera Sahib, Kirtan Sola. That doesn't change. It stays simple, yeah? Our rule book is only 24 pages long. Very simple. However, on a societal level, when we have like what shall we do? Shall we all vote Tory, vote Conservative, shall we make our own party? Whatever we have to do, yeah? At that point, the Khalsa comes together and they make a sort of combined decision, societal decision. And what it works like is this, yeah? A Gurmata. At this point, the Khalsa comes together and used to come together every 6 months. So in Diwali time, we used to meet in Harimandir Sahib. And in Vaisakhi time, it used to be obviously Hola Mohalla, Anandpur Sahib, around that time, yeah? So the Sikhs would meet twice a year. So we had a 6-month plan. Do you understand that? Every 6 months we'd get together and decide what we're going to do next. What have we done so far? What we're going to do next. So we weren't this unplanned group of people that walk around just like, you know, Sawa Lakh Fauj most of the time. We were a planned group of people that used to come together and make decisions. And what would happen is everybody would get together and they would give their views to their local leaders. They would choose their own leaders, right? And then those people that were the Panj Pyare, who were like accepted manne hoye, they would get all the views together. They would go into a room and they would sit together and they would come up with some kind of consensus decision. Okay, where people had to agree. All Jathebandis and their leaders would have to agree upon something which was the combined way. It wasn't allowed to be that, oh, I just can't get along with you guys. I'm going to make my own panth. You get nowadays, yeah? It wasn't. They had to agree, and then together, that decision, the unanimous decision, was then presented to the Sangat. And the Sangat was allowed to say, agree or not agree. So Jakara was coming from the Sangat. People would put their hands up and say, yes, we vote for this. We agree with you. Yeah. So the Panj would present their decision and the people would then agree with it. And that's how a Gurmata was formed. And that decision then was no longer called the Sangat's decision or the Panj Pyare decision. It was called the Guru's decision. The Guru Panth has decided. Okay. So how can we apply that nowadays to ourselves? Well, one thing I can say is that very few people or very few groups, when they get together to do something, ever take a hukamnama. Yeah, like Rajwana, yeah, blew up. How many people got together at the Panthik level and took a hukamnama? Say, Maharaj, what do you suggest? Yeah. When it came to Professor Puller, how many groups do we know published the hukamnama they took? And the Ardas, the Panj Pyare present, to say, Maharaj, what do you think we should do? So basically, we've taken our leader out of the situation. Guru Granth Sahib is our Pradhan. Yeah? Jab Sahib says, Sadevang Pradhani hai. Why, Guru, you're always a Pradhan. So why are we taking our leader out of the equation? We're no longer seeking guidance from Maharaj. Yeah? So secondly, the Khalsa should be the Panj Pyare to be deciding what's going on. Yeah? We never know who's in charge. Like there's this KSC-led organization, leaderless organization. They say no one's in charge. Sangha's in charge. Who's in charge? No one's in charge. So who decided to be here? The Sangha decided. Some of you guys must have decided. No one's, what is it? Slopey shoulders. No one's take any responsibility because they don't want to be blamed for anything. Yeah? The Panj Pyare were in charge. The Panj Pyare made decision. They shouldered that responsibility. The Khalsa shouldered responsibility. Didn't just let it slide off. And the 5 had to agree.